Hi, I'm Izzi Basey-Fisher, and this is All in Yellow, a podcast dedicated to Norwich City Women and the Women's National League South East. And today I'm joined by...
Hi, my name's James Doe. I'm an Actonians fan and volunteer.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining me today. So we'll start by talking a little bit about the summer. So signings, been quite quiet, but departures and signings, what has gone down?
Okay, well, I mean, publicly, I would say it's been quite quiet. We have quite a radically overhauled squad, and I would say, on balance, it's probably stronger than it was last season. But I can't really go into detail. I've been kind of told not to give away too much information about who we have signed. There's a couple of international players. Some more people have come in from overseas, and we struggled for strikers last season. We had a really good one who played her part against you at the Nest last season, but she left straight away for Wimbledon, and we didn't really replace her. But now we have two or three options up front, so hopefully we'll be a bit stronger. As for departures, there were two or three really notable ones that were sad to see go. We had Olivia Clement, one of our defenders. She went to London Bees. Prudy Todd-Bournemouth, one of our star younger players. She's gone to Durham's Professional Game Academy, so we're really proud of her for that. And Amber Dredge, who I think was almost ever present last season, she's moved on, and I'm not sure where she's gone. I think I heard maybe Luton, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So those are the main sort of ins and outs.
Mm-hmm. So it's all sort of changed, but not really in the show of everything. But I suppose we'll all learn at the Nest on Sunday. I suppose it'll all be for us to find out and you to already know. But
well, something like that. I mean, I still haven't seen too much of them myself. So because as I mentioned before we started the recording, we've had two or three of our pre-season games have fallen through. Our opponents have let us down. So I've only seen a couple of games so far, and not all of the players are available. So it'll be interesting to see what they do on Sunday.
What were the levels like for pre-season? Were they strong teams, wins, losses?
Yeah, it was a bit of everything, really. So we had a very close game with Dartford, who are Tier 5.
Yeah.
We had a draw with Ascot, who are Tier 4. And there was someone else. I can't remember. But yeah, it was all it was like a win, draw, and a loss, I think. We beat Charlton. That's right. That was the win. So that was a really good one. But yeah, and then we had an in-house game the other night between the firsts and the reserves, which was a lot of fun. And the reserves got trounced, as you would hope.
Yeah. So it sounds like you've had a similar. Actually sounds like a better season in terms of pre-season than Norwich, but maybe.
Well, you've had some pretty tough teams by the looks of things.
I think what have we done? We've had Watford and Guala and that, which were obviously losses, but I think that was quite. I don't know. With promotion, it's sort of when you want promotion, it's hard to say whether that's an okay result. But I feel like we had a red card against Guala, so that one was sort of not too bad. And I think we've been doing a lot of rotation, so I think that one was understandable against Watford. And then,
did you play Leyton Orient?
Yeah, right at the start of the season.
Now, what do you make of them? Because they're a bit of an interesting one this year.
I mean, it's hard for me to comment because we've had all bar one behind closed doors, and I've been only allowed into Moneyfield last weekend. But from what I've heard, they've had a lot of new players come in, and they've got a new manager, a lot of players from Tier 3.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to judge. I don't know how we played, and I don't know how they played, but because there's no updates on socials, but it sounds like they're good, or we just, I don't know, didn't deliver as the league above team. But
yeah. I mean, I think they're going to wipe the floor with everyone in their division this season. I think they're in Tier 7, ridiculously.
Yeah, ridiculous.
I know, and they've got Tier 3 management team and players, so it's going to be a bit of a bloodbath, I think, in that division.
Yeah, I think if neither of us go up over the next couple of years, I think there'll definitely be one that will be like Bedford and just go straight through the league.
Yeah.
And they'll just be favourites for that year. But that's how this league is, I think. I don't know about you, but I think this league's getting so strong compared to the league above.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be. I mean, Fulham are really going for it by all accounts. Yeah. From what I've heard, they spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they should do, because they've got probably the biggest budget on paper as a Premier League team. So, yeah.
I think that QPR seems to be really good as well. They've they went to Singapore and seemed to just wipe it there. I was like, I don't see many teams in our league going on a European and global tour.
Well, we actually know the management team at QPR quite well because they were Actonians before, and I had a chat with the assistant coach on Tuesday night because she came down to spy on us, and yeah, no, they had a great time in Singapore. It was all expenses paid by the organisers of the tournament. So, because QPR's owner comes from that part of the world and he had connections down there, so they had a great time. They lost in the final, but it was only 1-0 or something. So they have a very good account of themselves. And they are paying more to their players this season, but it's not, they're not paying the most by any means. So it's not much more than expenses from what I hear.
Yeah, I think we're one of very few who've started the professional contracts. I don't know how much they're paid, but I think it's a considerable amount more than a lot of the players are on. But
I mean, I'm not sure if we're the only ones now that are just amateur, but we definitely are. No one gets paid at our club anything.
Really?
Managers, coaches, volunteers, no one gets nothing.
Not even like transport or anything.
Maybe, but I don't think so. No, I mean we'll get a coach on Sunday.
Yeah,
but that's because it's Norwich and it's a long journey. But most of the time, I think people just have to do their own thing or get lifts.
Is that sort of something that you notice with obviously being like a women's only club? You don't have a men's side.
Yeah,
is that
that's a
something
huge part of it? Yeah, massive part because we have to get sponsors to keep going, and that's it. Or have a good run in the FA Cup.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully that'll be pull like a Wolves this year or Fulham. They did quite well.
Yeah, I mean, we got to the third round about 3 years ago, and we got a really good draw. You know, we played tier 6 teams most of the time, so we made it right through to the third round. I think that was worth 20-odd thousand, which pretty much guaranteed our next season. So it was absolutely crucial for us.
Yeah, well, that's good. I was going to say, obviously, the game this weekend is at the Nest, but I know that you've now moved grounds to, is it North Green Park?
North Greenford United, yeah.
There you go. How is that going to be? Because obviously, I know last year you were at the FA ground, and that was sort of like the Nest. Lots of teams there.
Yeah. So it's very similar to the Nest, but not quite as good. I mean, the surface, it's 3 or 4G, whatever it is, and that suits lots of styles of play. North Greenford United is very much not 3G. It's quite a bobbly pitch. It gets waterlogged quite easily in the winter. So that's going to present its own challenges. Maybe it'll be to our advantage because away teams won't be able to cope with it. So
we struggled for us.
Yeah. So I mean, it was quite tough. They did a training session on it on Sunday, and it was not in great shape. But and there's 2 other teams in men's non-league teams ground sharing as well. So it's going to get really heavily used. So we'll see what happens. We used to play there a few years ago. Our first team were there before Rectory Park. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, the winter, hopefully there won't be too many fixtures called off.
I don't know, last season we had bad run in the winter. I think we could have prayed for a few called off, so might end up playing in your
I was really
favour.
interested. Like, last season, what happened? Because at Christmas, you were nowhere, and then you ended up second. It was just like, how did that happen?
I think it all, I talk to my dad about this a lot, and I say I think it fell apart at Cheshire when we drew there. And I can't remember if it was the game before, the game after, but Ellie Smith came off about halfway through, and obviously player of the season 2 years in a row, arguably one of our stronger players in the midfield. She came off with an injury, which she didn't come back till January, and I think that was a huge blow. And when she went, it was just like injury after injury, and then obviously we had FA Cup, all of that, and I don't know, we lost it. I think that's when we sort of started to lose the league, was when we got a bit plagued with injuries and we were struggling for goals and form. And then all of a sudden, they all sort of came back and we were just like, yeah, let's go win everything.
Yeah, it was amazing. How low did you go? It was about 7th or something. You were miles off.
We were lower than teams, because obviously when we started, me and Dad were like, oh, we've got Bedford, Dulwich coming up. They both look quite strong. Obviously beat Dulwich opening game, and we thought, oh, this is really good. And then 3 months later, we're almost in relegation. I was like, God, if we continue this, I'm not even confident we'll do much at all. But it was definitely nice to watch us go back up. But then I think it's down to how close this league was. I think we worked out something like at one point the top 7 were like 15 points within each other, and like top 5 was like a win and things like that. It was like ridiculously close. I think obviously it was us, you, and Bedford at one point top 3, and I was like, if you lose, you're just dropping miles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that first 3 or 4 months of last season, I think shocked us a lot. I mean, as a small club, I think we are. I don't think it's unfair to say we are probably the smallest club in the division.
Yeah.
Because we're the only independent women's one. And to find ourselves top after beating you that day was just like, what is going on? It was like nosebleed time. And we lost. They say we lost our striker, and then we just couldn't win after that, which was really annoying.
Yeah, no, I honestly think you could have put Bedford in for a real good run if you'd have kept up. Because like that game, we beat you in the cup, I think, and then you beat us in the league the next week. And I was like, oh, why have we got the good Actonians? Like some weeks you'd have weeks where I think, oh, they haven't, like, you're not as good as I thought. And then some weeks you turn up and I'm like, geez Louise, this is like team that could walk the league. And like, I think you had those weeks and I was like, oh my God, this team is like the team to beat, better than Bedford. But I think it came down to consistency, didn't it? We were not at all consistent. I think you had a week or two, and obviously losing your striker makes a huge difference. But I think it'd be an interesting league to see this season, because I think teams like QPR, who at the end of the season I said I think they'll be up for bottom half of the table. I'm now thinking actually I think they're going to be like up there with teams like London Bees, Chatham, you guys, Fulham. I even think Luton. I think Luton will end up mid-table, but not because they've not strengthened enough, because everyone else has done just as much strengthening as them.
Yeah. When I look around the sort of the Twitter feeds or the X feeds of all the clubs, you think, oh, yeah, they've signed some good ones, and they've signed some good ones. It's like, so I guess it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, no, I think I was talking to someone the other day and I said I'm worried about Chatham. Obviously, I thought they were going to be really strong, and they seem to have gone really quiet on signing fronts. And then I think in the last 2 or 3 days, they've just gone mental with signings.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, there's their strengthening. So
they're a very solid team. Very solid.
I think everyone will be difficult. I thought us signing, I think we've got 4, 5 tier 3 players that have come down to join us, like Ipswich switch players and things like that. I thought this is our year, and then everyone else has done the same thing. But I think
I mean, again, as a fan of a club of our size, avoiding relegation is the primary goal for me personally. So if we get off to a good start, first 3 or 4 months, like we did last year, I'll be happy with that, and then just see how we go. I mean, we finished in the top 6, I think, for at least the last 5 years. So I'll be really happy with that. But carry on.
I think you underestimate yourselves. Like, I've got a group of girls I go to all the Norwich games, and when you see the Actonians fixture, you're like, oh no, this is the game. Like, if you win it, it's like a proper result, and if you lose it, it's like, oh, that's such an annoying 3 points, because I don't know, you're such an annoying team to play. Like, it's such a frustrating game to watch, because you're like, oh, how are they always there? How have they always done this? And like, oh, it's just frustrating. Always watch your defenders and think that's like a solid back line.
Yeah, I think that's what we're built on. Certainly in the last couple of years, it's all about the defence. So
I think obviously, is it the 71? They made a team of the season for the league, and Mara Bramwell got in the first starting 11, and I was like, you know what, that is so valid.
Yeah, she's pretty awesome for us.
She's solid. I think she's one of those players that we've all picked up on when we play at Tony's. Like, as long as you keep away from her, you've got a good chance. But she doesn't leave anyone. She doesn't leave anyone free. You ain't getting a goal when she's like on prime.
Yeah, that's true.
I think you'll have a strong team. I mean, as I say, I don't really know much about your signings and stuff because it's all quite quiet. But I think after that first game on Sunday, I think it'll be really interesting.
Yeah. I mean, they're certainly in good spirits watching them train. We've had some players come back from a couple of years ago as well who've recovered from injury and things like that. So we'll see. I mean, I'll be over the moon with a point. Let's put it that way.
I mean, I think we're set on 3 points. Obviously, third year run and now want promotion. But from a fan's perspective, I'd take the 2. I'd take the point as well, because I think it's always one of those games. First game of the season. I think we've probably got one of the worst runs I physically could have asked for. With
you. Who you got?
we've got you and then QPR, Fulham, Luton. Which to
ours
me,
is pretty similar, to be fair.
yeah,
We've
I
got
think you've
Fulham and
got
Luton as well.
almost the same, but
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not looking forward to it.
No.
I think they'll be the big test because I think QPR have really strengthened, and then Fulham are like the black horse coming up. But I don't know what to expect from Luton, but I think they'll be pretty
What about
solid.
MK Dons?
I don't know what to make of them because they've lost so many players last season. Their like relegation was set. It's like Billericay this year. I think if they don't get relegated, it'd be such a surprise. But I don't know because I haven't seen them signing many people. I've seen people leaving, but I've not seen many come in. So unless they've decided that the team they had last year was just not good enough for that league, but it will be for this league, which I don't think is the case because I think the top half of the league in the league above is better, but the bottom half, I think a lot of the teams in our league could put up a good fight against them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think first 3 games will be quite clear because you've got them, haven't you? Quite early doors.
Early, I think. Oh, I'm not sure. Well, it'll be in September sometime. Yeah, it's not one of the
It's quite
first
quick.
games, but yeah.
But I think their place in the league will be quite clear quite quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't pay much attention to their running because we ain't got them for quite a while. But yeah, I think a lot of teams. I think teams like Chesham. I think they'll be. I think with the strength of the league, I think they'll either do really well or they'll show really quickly that they've not strengthened enough.
Yeah, well, I was speaking to a friend he used to play for us last season. She's at Brentford now.
Oh yeah.
And they played them in a friendly on Wednesday night and beat them 5-0.
Yeah, I think Brentford though are a really, really strong team.
Yeah.
Me and Dad have already said that we think they'll be the ones that come up next year.
I mean, there's been a lot of sort of chaos behind the scenes over the summer. They've only just appointed a manager a couple of days ago.
Wow.
So they've been having a temporary coach every week for the last few weeks. And the squad wasn't nailed down until I think the start of this week.
Oh wow!
So,
I wasn't even aware of this.
Yeah, so it's but yeah, they're still winning, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, you're doing well.
And also, as back to our league, I'm hearing quite a lot of sort of bad stuff about Dulwich, and their form has dropped right off. I think they've lost every game.
Lost a couple of players. I think they were, I don't know, fortunate last year. They didn't do as well as I thought they would, but I don't think I've seen a single player signed there that I'm aware of. So I do think they're going to struggle. Like at the start of sort of midway through pre-season, I thought that maybe Cambridge would be in that, but they seem to have gone mad now with decent signings, I'd say. I got to go to 2 or 3 of their pre-season because they're not too far away from me. And I thought, especially, they had a couple at the start where I thought, my prediction isn't really that far off. But now they seem to have, they played Rugby Borough and I got to go to that. And I thought they looked quite good. I don't know if it'll be enough to challenge. I don't even know if I'd say the top 6 or if I'd say something like the top 8 are going to be close. But I think, that's what I think. I think everyone's done so much in terms of just to stay up. They're the sort of signings that I'd say if you did them in the league above, I'd be saying, oh, they're fighting for promotion with the sort of the fact they're signing such stronger players. But I think this league I don't even think it's going to be about staying and getting there. I think it's going to be stopping relegation.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if we have poor form like last year, that we are in that relegation battle, really fighting for it. I mean, I'm hoping with the signings, we will prevent that. I think we've got a larger squad this year, but you never know these things because I think this league is crazy competitive and very, very competitive and very high up.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I don't think there'll be a runaway leader.
No.
As there has been in some previous years. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be I hope it'll be like Norwich, and then I think it'll be teams like Fulham, QPR, London Bees. And I think you'll be in there. But you sound less confident on that one.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just, because we are such a small club and we don't pay. And, like last year, if someone takes a fancy to one of our players, they can just walk in and waft a couple of £100 in front of them and they'll be off, or potentially that could happen because we don't have contracts or anything like that. So we are quite vulnerable.
Do you find it hard? Because I'd have always thought, like, London-based club. I know you're obviously standalone, so there's not much money in it, but is it hard to get players even though you're from London?
Well, no, I don't think it is because I mean, it depends who's in charge. I mean, we've got a relatively inexperienced manager. He's in his second season
Yeah.
in full sort of senior football, but he's doing a decent job.
Yeah.
Whereas our previous manager, who's at QPR now, he's so well connected. We used to have Japanese players coming in every season, all sorts of amazing players from all over, and he could, we had players coming in from Super League academies who were just suddenly. There's a girl who's just signed for Ipswich, actually, Sophie Bagent. We had her a couple of seasons ago for the last 6 games of the season because she was coming back from injury at Reading, and she scored 6 goals in 6 games from centre back. And she was just like she was a class above. Quite clearly on the pitch, she was a Super League looking player, and it was just like, wow. It just saw us. We finished 3rd that season. It was amazing. So, but yeah, it depends. But we get the players, even though we're absolutely hemmed in on all sides by QPR, Fulham, and Brentford.
Yeah.
We've been. This is our 11th season in this division. We've been in it longer than any of them, and possibly any club in this division. I think we might be the longest serving club in this division.
You seem to be, whenever we look back on old seasons for Norwich, you're always up there, always about.
Yeah.
I suppose it just shows. I don't know. Are you going? Do you want promotion, or is it sort of something that if it happens, it'd be good?
I mean, of course, it's something that you'd want.
Yeah.
I mean, there's that extra place or possibility this year, but I would probably be thrashed because if we went up, we have no money.
That is true. That's true.
Unless loads of sponsors came in. I mean, we've got one of our reserve players works for London City Lionesses, and she brought the trophy down to our junior day, and maybe we can get a bit of investment from the lady in charge over there. Who knows? Maybe she want to get involved in our, we get into her multi-club ownership system that she has. Who knows?
They seem to be kicking off about that though. The FA, they want to ban it apparently.
Well, no, but
so see the end of that probably soon.
But I think we're an investment opportunity because we have no strings.
I think if I was looking to sponsor someone in London, I'd put my money on you.
Yeah,
I think you're like the wild card of the league, that you always perform well, even though I think you're not the club people would expect to do so well.
Yeah, I mean, we are the highest ranked independent women's club in the whole southeast, outside the WSL. So
it's a good stat.
Come on, give us the money if you're listening.
No, you got to tell them. You got to tell them.
Yeah.
But obviously, we'll talk about you take part in your own podcast with Actonians.
Yep, that's a new thing that just started this week.
Yeah, why should people channel in, if they listen to this? Why should they come and listen to that and listen to a bit of Actonians and pour some money?
That's a good question. I mean, it's essentially something I set up various little things in football. Like I've started a blog. I run an event called Non-League Day in men's football. And I've set these things up because they don't exist, and it's things that I want, but they don't exist. So I thought, well, if no one else is going to do it, I'll do it. So it is essentially set up as kind of like an open club newsletter. I kind of just want to, because sections of the club are quite sort of broken up. So the seniors don't really have much to do with the juniors and vice versa. And there's a community section, and it'd be great to get all the people within the club first and foremost to start sort of pulling in the same direction. Getting fans to our first team games is quite hard.
I mean, we don't quite a small.
We do.
Crowd.
I mean, if we got 100, that would be a good day, a really good day. I mean, it doesn't help that we don't have our own ground, and it's not in Acton, the ones we use. It's North Greenford is, I don't know, 5 miles or so from Acton, which in London is quite a big deal because there's so many other things you could be doing. So that's hard. So we've got to try and work on building the fan base. And also, it's a chance to showcase the club to people who are not involved. That's one of the reasons I wanted to do the podcast. Because no one's heard of Actonians outside of the women's game. Yeah. No one knows we exist. Going back to the juniors again, I talk, my kids play in the junior sides, and you talk to some of the parents there and their jaws drop when you tell them how good we are, what level we play at. We've got these players, and they just have no idea. But at the same time, Brentford will put on a game at the G-Tech in Tier 6 click their fingers, hand out free tickets, and they'll fall over themselves to go. And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's just so annoying.
I think
It's
if
really
you did that,
frustrating.
it wouldn't make a difference, would it?
No,
'Cause
no.
it's all about the name and the fame, but
Yep.
it's so hard when you don't. I mean, we're sort of lucky with the men's team, but I think we've got a decent-ish name because obviously of Ipswich, Ipswich have got a huge fan base and they seem to always come at us now. They've got this big women's side and promotion.
Mm.
I think that's really helped us. But I always find it crazy when I talk. Like I go to school and like tell people about the football where I've been at the weekend, and none of them know anything. And
Yeah.
you'll say, "Oh, I played London Bees, I played Actonians," and they're like, "Is this a friendly? Is this a fun game?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
"No, no, no. This is actually a league full of teams that are actually good." Like you
Mm.
talk about all these teams, like had to educate people on Real Bedford and things. And the only teams they know are things like Luton and Fulham. Like I told them
Yeah.
they were coming up, and they were like, "Oh, are they not in the WSL you talk about?" And I'm like, "No,
No.
no, they're down there, but they're all good teams." And I'm like, everyone needs to know about these teams that aren't necessarily the big household name, like Norwich is sort of Norfolk's known.
Yeah. I
When
mean,
you
I'd
come,
say you were arguably the biggest team in the division.
yeah,
Maybe Fulham, but they've got no pedigree in women's football. Well, not in the last few years.
yeah.
Going back a long time, they do. But yeah, I mean, Norwich have been around. I would say they're the biggest team in the division.
Yeah, I mean, I always talk about it, but obviously we've won. The women won it. It's almost like 50, 60 years ago now, won the FA
Mm.
Cup.
Yeah.
But that's something people don't know about. I always think, oh, that's probably why people know about Norwich. And you say it and people go, you've won an FA Cup. It's just the men. I'm like, no, no, no. The women have actually won the FA Cup.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think we used to get more fans down at the Nest. We don't seem to get as many as before. We get like 300 now. We had
Mm.
a good spell, not season gone, season before that, towards the end. We were getting like up to 500 every week.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden just dropped off. But I think people know about the team. I'd say arguably Dulwich on paper get the best attendances.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say they're well known, even though they
No.
put it in.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're an amazing club, really, for what they do with the men's side as well. I mean, they sell out every week, and they're not very good. They haven't. They've they're almost relegated last season.
Mhm.
They don't win very much, and they get
No.
3,000 people turn up. So
But
for the
then I
men's
do think
team,
they've got a good atmosphere for the women. Like they came down to the Nest and brought 20, 30 fans, got a cowbell, with chanting
yeah,
and singing. And I
yeah,
suppose that's probably what brings it in sometimes is whenever I obviously like help organise with my group of friends, we've made some chants, sort
yeah,
of try and go around, talk to people. It's all quite friendly. We try and make it a bit noisy at the Nest to make it a bit of a wall so people like you don't beat us and ruin our home streaks and things like that.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I think they're so known for when I know think about Dulwich, I always think about like they always do videos about they never do the play. It's always about the crowd.
mm,
I suppose that's what brings them in, innit?
yeah,
If if you think you've got a good atmosphere, got the music, got a beer, that's what
yeah,
people want. And
yeah.
they'll
Well, apparently, yeah, we've got access to a sound system this year and a PA and all the rest of it. So we're going to be really going for it.
yeah, I mean, as long as you've got a better radio system than us, ours seems to always
Oh,
break. We
okay.
were halfway through announcement, goal scorer, and it's like cuts out. But
Oh,
I
dear.
think it makes a huge difference having like getting people hyped up for a game. I think you always listen like they do the squad announcement, everyone cheers along. I think they're the sort of things that help make it more like we always say it's like family at the Nest. Everyone knows pretty much everyone unless obviously you're quite new and then you don't really know anyone.
Yeah,
But it's sort of the music, getting everyone chanting and singing. It's like family there.
yeah. And
That's what you.
what do you make of the Carrow Road experience when you have it?
Oh, from someone that does like home and away, doesn't really miss a single game, I find it really weird. Like it's nice. I don't know, it's a really nice opportunity. I think it's great. If I was a player, I think I'd be overjoyed to get to play there. But as a fan, sometimes I don't actually look forward to it that much, which sounds
Mm,
terrible. But I think it's so like different. It's such a like put on experience.
mm,
Like you'll go normally to the Nest, like the average day at the Nest is you go get your wristband, talk to the volunteers, everyone knows them. It's people like Nicole who obviously do so much for the National League. You go get your coffee, then go stand and watch the warm up, watch the game, go get another coffee at half time or another drink. That is it. Like It's like everything's regimented. You go to the Carrow Road and they've put on all the big like inflatables. They've got all the food stands, and it's very, very different. Like they'll put stuff on like the big board saying, "Come on, sing, come on, you yellows," all of that. It's it's nice. It's nice to get to experience the bigger crowds. But from someone that obviously goes to the Nest each week, you think, what are we doing to bring the people into the Nest? Because 3 or 4 years ago when I started coming, I think my first game we did was Ashford, which was like one of the first Carrow Road games, and me and Dad we went and sat in like the director's box, had a meal before because it seemed cheap. It was like 30 quid at the time, which is a bargain when you think about like tickets. And we had people sat around us like searching up the league, searching up who the team actually was that were Norwich and like Ashford. People asked if it was a friendly. People don't realise that there's more to it. So I think it's weird seeing people around you, like you'll do your normal activities, go to the food stall, buy something like you normally would, start chanting. We've had like a drum a couple of times. And people always talk like it's the most like once in a lifetime experience. But I think we're lucky, unlike you, that we've got like the men's team with the ground like that. But I think to progress, we need to normalise the fact that we don't actually like do much at Carrow Road and that we do everything at the Nest, and that is where we sort of live, and that is the home of the women.
Yeah.
It's such a different experience. Like got spoken to by like Radio North at mid game because they were like, we obviously were celebrating like we normally do, and everyone just sat in their chairs going clapping, and I was like going feral because it's like, bloody hell, we're actually beating QPR. Like we always seem to draw to them. It's like a Carrow Road curse, I think, that we always end up drawing, and it's never. You always know when you see the Carrow Road fixtures come out, you're like, oh, this is all our draws or losses. These are where we're losing the points. This is where we now can't afford to lose the points. But
so who have you got this year? Is it Cambridge?
Cambridge and Luton.
Yeah.
So I think Luton's September, 3 or 4 weeks. It's not even that far away now. And then Cambridge's last game of the season. So hopefully it'll be a nice hopefully if we get promotion it'll happen there. But it'll be weird. We've got obviously Lauren Tomlinson and Shannon Shaw have gone over to Cambridge. So it'll be weird watching them at Carrow Road on the other team, but how it is, isn't it?
Yeah. No chance of Lauren Hemp showing up on Sunday?
I don't know. She did. Well, I've seen on social media today she's back at Man City, done a sort of talk. So I'd say she's done with her tour of Norwich, but she obviously did her unveiling on the coach, and then she's done I can't think what it is. She's like a training day with the academy. People got invited and you could go. So I think maybe not. She seems to be back at Man City doing her thing there, but she did obviously the men's game, brought the ball out. So we'll go with no. I suppose they can't really regulate it too much there as well. It's not masses of security like at Carrow Road where you got everyone. But
did you go to the Women's Euros by any chance?
Yeah, I did 2 games. We did the group stage because at the time we didn't realise you got free transport, and we were like, oh, it's gonna be such a fortune. But so we did Germany, Denmark, and then England, Netherlands, and then came back home for the rest of the tournament.
Okay. Yeah, because talking of security, because I went to the opening day, Switzerland and Norway.
Yeah.
And my friend and I, who's German, we came out of the station at Basel, and we just started walking down towards the ground. We passed, it was the Movenpeak Hotel, and the Swiss team bus was just parked there.
We passed a lot of buses.
And they just walked out, and there was no security at all. There was no fences. Alicia Lehman came out. There was about 10 fans. She just piled into them and gave them all a big hug. And then everyone got on the bus. And we were just stood there taking photos. And it was like, this is bonkers.
I mean, when we got the tram to the Germany game, we literally were driving alongside the German bus. But that was very like security. They had like a motorbike, cars either side, like they were stopping when the tram stopped so that like they couldn't get ahead or anything. It was like proper secure, but I mean, I think security was interesting. I think getting into the stadium was like they were like gender specific. They were like proper strict. Like we were going for the short queues and they were like turning us around because we were females and stuff. Like me and my mum turned around and things. So they were like, you have to go down the women's only queue. But I think once you actually got into the stadium, I thought they were just like, just come and sit and watch the game.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone.
Yeah, and Basel, that first night, it was so hot that my friend and I, for the second half, we couldn't stay in our seats. We just went down and watched it from the concourse, and no one said anything. Lots of other people
No,
were doing it. It was
no.
like
Well,
free for all.
when we went to Basel, we were behind the goal, sort of right up in the top tier, and there were seats sort of down the bottom. And we said, "What are the odds we just walk down there, like after half time, and see if the seats are still free?" But
Mm.
almost we didn't in the end because it ended up being quite a bloody good view. We got all the goals, nice angles and stuff. But I don't think they would have stopped us. You wandered around. When we went to Zurich, they had obviously it's like Women's Year, so there's more females, so they put in like they had two men's toilets. One was behind the England fans and the other one was behind the Dutch fans. And somehow my dad missed it. Did the whole loop, walked all the way around the whole stadium, ended up in with all the Dutch fans with his England merch and stuff, and was just like chilling.
Yeah,
But I think
that's great. The
it was
vibe at those tournaments is so
yeah.
different to men's ones. It's really fun.
Yeah, no. I mean, I've never done a men's one, but that was like my first major tournament. But it was such a nice thing to do. It's like compared to going to like Wembley and stuff, it's just completely different, even though there's less people there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, I thought the Euros was definitely a good thing.
Yeah.
And hopefully it'll bring stuff for the league this year.
Yeah, let's hope so.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
Trying to think if I've got anything else to say.
Cool.
Not really. Have you got anything else you wanted to mention?
No. Yeah, I mean, it's as I say, when the fixtures came out, my heart sank. It wasn't like it was not my dream opening fixture. I
Yeah.
have to admit. But
No,
it's always something that I'm hopefully going to try and come to now, because my oldest school friend lives in Norwich now, so I always go and see him. He's coming to the game. He'd like discovered Norwich for the first time at the Nest last year, so it's his first game there. So he was quite impressed. So
yeah,
I'm looking
no,
forward to it.
I don't think ours were good, but I think Actonians is an opening game. I think will hopefully play in our favour. Hoping we catch you sort of in the swing of start of season games and we hit you with the benefit of having our extra pre-seasons, but I don't know. I think the league, in terms of like us, I think our position will be pretty clear by the end of September. But we'll see. I think it'll be an interesting league. I think give it Christmas and I still don't think you'll know. But yeah.
Well, you hope not. It'd be pretty boring if it was. So
yeah, but hopefully it's not a Real Bedford again this year, but I don't think it will be.
I mean, I don't think they won it by the margin that many people were expecting. I mean, for the money they spent, I don't think they got a great return.
No,
I mean,
they're supposed to be on.
They got the title, which is the main thing. But yeah.
Yeah, no, we got to I think we were at Chatham. I think when they played maybe you, but they played you at one and either drew to you or beat you, and they were supposed to lose. And we were all sat. I think it was, and we were all sat at Chatham. We were watching the game because it was like Bedford at home, watching it, going, "Oh my god, they're going to drop points. They're going to drop points. We've got a chance. We've got a chance." And we were like, "We're beating Chatham. This is really good." And then they seemed to, I think, their last 2 or 3 games, they all pulled the points that they shouldn't have got in them.
Yeah.
And then lost by 1 point, and everyone was like, "Oh, now you've got to look at all those games that we lost that we really shouldn't have lost." Like London Bees, that draw was like ridiculous, and things like losing to Chatham is like compared to Bedford's 10-0 win and stuff was like, oh, this is ridiculous. But oh well, learn from it, and hopefully we'll do a little bit better this season. Get what we want.
Yeah. It's an exciting time, but also a nervous one. So yeah.
Once it starts, it'll hopefully all be fine, and then I can know what's happening each week and hopefully predict the results so I can feel more calm in myself. God, this week's a win, so we can chill. This week we're gonna lose, so I'll be stressed. But it'll be fine.
Cool. So, do you have a favourite away ground that you go to?
Oh, I mean, me and Dad are desperate to do London Bees because that looks like a nice ground.
Oh, it's not great.
It's not great, but from like outside, it's like a proper stadium, isn't it? Like a lot of them are obviously
it isn't. It isn't. So they play on a nest on the outside of the stadium.
Ah, I didn't know that.
It's like that. They used to when they're in the higher division. They used to play in the main stadium, but they're stuck out in 3D now.
Ah, see, that's what I don't know. I thought they still played with the full stadium and stuff.
No.
So I'll be very disappointed.
And there's a lot of sort of disgruntled chat among myself and QPR fans that their ground that they use is actually allowed by the league, because I'm not sure it meets the grading really.
it not?
So it doesn't have a clubhouse. It has one open terrace down one side. It's a bit rubbish.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
spectators are only allowed on one side of the ground.
now I feel
Um,
slightly less disappointed that I missed our last 2 away
yeah,
games against
yeah,
them.
yeah,
But maybe I'm not so excited for that one. But
yeah.
QPR is always one I enjoy because it's always at Loftus Road. But they
Oh
seem
yeah,
to they've moved our fixture to Hayes Lane this year, so
yeah.
be
Hayes
a
and
new
Yedding.
ground to
Yeah,
explore. I'd
yeah.
if Fulham would like to play the men's
Mm,
ground, that'd be great. Nice game,
yeah,
but
that'd be a good one. Yeah.
we'll see. I don't
Stadium
know.
MK they're using, aren't they? That'd be a good one.
Yeah, they're supposed to actually be using that. They cancelled that for our game last year, but
Mhm,
I didn't really
mm,
have one I like enjoy going to. I always
yeah.
think like St Neots is quite nice because
Oh
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
and Sudbury's always nice. It's sort of like proper ground, sort of in
Chesham's
terms.
quite nice in the hills.
Yeah, we went there last year and we got flooded and soaked and obviously
Oh
drew and
yeah,
it wasn't then so fun. You always
yeah,
got I always prefer grounds where we have a better record because at
yeah,
least you don't have to stress while you're at the game.
yeah.
But no, I want to do Dulwich because I
Yeah,
missed that
that's
last
good.
year.
Yeah,
Not because I think it'll be like a wow. It's not like the most wow stadium, but I think it'll be fun with all the fans.
yeah,
Seeing their very small crowd come over to us, I think seeing them in full force will be a good atmosphere. But I don't know.
yeah. That'd be good.
I don't have one. Do you have one that you like really look forward to just going to?
Well, yeah, Chesham's quite nice if it's a nice day.
Yeah.
Although it's a bit ramshackle now because I hadn't been there for about 30 years. I used to go and watch the men's team occasionally, and it was a bit of a state, but it's still a nice place. The Neots is really easy to get to because I go on the train and public
Yeah, that's
transport, and
the
it's
easy
right
one.
there. So that's a good one. The one I don't like going to is #ground at Aveley. That's an absolute pain to get to.
Yeah.
Um, Wimbledon was quite good because they always put it on plough, or often put it at Plough
Yeah,
Lane.
no,
We've played there a couple of times.
Wimbledon last 2 years ago, that was a pretty good
Yeah,
game.
yeah, so that's quite a good one. Yes, I'd be interested to see Stadium MK.
Yeah,
I think the Luton ground is going to be hard to get to, or a bit of a
yeah.
pain
It'd
in
be
the middle of
nice to
nowhere.
play it at Kenilworth Road, but I don't think they
Oh,
will.
that'd be amazing. But yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
that's going to happen.
I mean, with their new
Um,
ground built, it'd be one I'd like to get to. It's like Everton. I was going to try and get to that last season, and it just never lined up. So now they're playing at Goodison. That's
yeah,
like a relief
that,
that I've not missed that ground. But
yeah, that's really good.
I can't see myself going to a Luton game randomly. Norwich men haven't got them really lined up. If I could get the away game, it'd be nice. But tickets are always impossible. So
Yeah,
if they fancy playing at Kenilworth Road, the women, I'd be so down for that. But
yeah,
you never
yeah.
know, do you?
Amazing. I've never been to Kenilworth Road. It's just one of
No.
those things that never happened. But I've been to loads of other grounds, but not that one. So it's weird. So that would
Mm,
be good if they did put that on there.
yeah.
So you travel with your dad in the car, is it? To
Yeah.
games?
Me
Yeah.
and dad do them, and then obviously I've got a group of girls I usually go with. So if they fancy coming for the journey down, they'll come along, sit in the car. But
Cool.
yeah, me and dad do like everything. We did everything. The games people don't want to come to, like Southampton, we're down there. I
Nice.
think it's just our thing though. We've always, well, I mean, not always done it, but for the last like 2.5 years, that's been like our Sundays. Oh, what are you
Yeah.
doing this Sunday? I've got football. No,
Yeah.
no ifs, no buts. That is football.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
One of the
nice.
games I've enjoyed seeing as a neutral in the last couple of years was your match at Wimbledon, season
Yeah.
before last, where you scored two in the
When
last
we
minute.
drew.
Yeah, and you got two in the
Yeah.
last minute, pretty much. So that
Yeah,
was
no,
really
that is
amazing.
I think that's probably one of my favourite games I've ever been to.
Yeah.
It's just such an iconic game to me. Like we were all bored because they put a coach on. That was the first coach they did, but
Okay.
we drove because we were like, well, we were going anyway. We didn't want to take up a spot on the coach, so sitting there watching, thinking, oh, I'm so glad we're not on the coach. This had been a boring drive home. To
Oh yeah.
then, not even 5 minutes later, 10 minutes left in the game. Oh, we're drawing. What the heck's going on here?
Yeah.
I think it was probably one of my favourites. I always find it
Yeah.
funny that me and my dad are in the back of the Norwich goal highlights cheering.
Uh,
I think that always makes me chuckle because it just shows
well,
I was like so
mm,
happy. I was like, this is like bloody brilliant. This is bloody good
yeah.
game.
Were you
Obviously,
behind the goal for the equaliser?
yeah, like sort of
Okay.
slightly to the right, but
Okay. Because I've got a video on my phone of that goal from behind. Was
yeah.
it Freya Simmons who took the free kick? I
Oh,
think it
was
was her.
it? Yeah, because
Yeah.
then
You don't forget when it's her because she's the standout player in pretty much every
talk
sense.
yeah.
So so I've got a video of that. So
Yeah. No,
yeah,
I obviously didn't get it on video because I was like too like, oh, this is nothing's gonna happen. But I've got the screen recordings from the highlights on the Norwich City socials, and they are probably my favourite goals because they're sort of bang on plain on goals, weren't they? But like
yeah,
sort of this situation makes them
yeah,
that much better.
yeah. That was really good. Yeah, actually, apparently on Sunday, I've just got a message from our chair saying that I am going to be going on the coach with the players.
Oh,
So that's pretty amazing. That shows
that's
what kind of club we are.
yeah.
We don't have huge hordes of people going around. So yeah, there's space for me on the coach. So that'd be quite fun.
Yeah,
But only if we get slaughtered, that's going to be a terrible journey back.
yeah, that would be a bit of a boring one back, a bit awkward, but
Yeah,
you got hope. I mean, as I say, I always think when you turn up, you're like a force to be reckoned with. I wouldn't want to play you on your days when you're like prime Messi and Ronaldo on the pitch, sort of
yeah,
when you do
yeah,
really go for it. Because those days, I just don't think anyone's getting near you. Like that
yeah,
one way you beat us, I thought, oh, just be like last week, plain and simple, and it's like a completely different team come batter
yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Same
I
team
mean,
we
that was
played.
we were hanging on a bit to be fair in that game. Our keeper
Yeah,
had a pretty good game, but Amara was very busy. But
yeah.
yeah, it got us over the line. So yeah,
But it's what it needs. I think they're the sort of games that had it been the other way round, would not be in this league anymore. If we'd have
mm,
lost the cup, I think when we went so far in the cup, I think that made a difference to us.
mm,
Like, see, travelling to Cheltenham, travelling to Southampton, all these teams in the league above and stuff, academies, change the grounds, journeys and stuff. I think they all played into us not getting up. I
mm,
think if we'd have got knocked out right at the start and all of it, FA Cup, even if we did not in the County Cup this year, I think that'll make a huge difference. But I think
mm,
they played a huge part in us getting knocked out of that.
mm.
But
Which PGA teams have you got in the League Cup?
we haven't got
Oh,
one somehow.
no.
No,
Mm.
we've got Peterborough, Cambridge United, and Bedford, which I think is
Oh,
I don't
that's a
know.
tough group.
It's a very tough group. I thought when I first read it, I thought, oh, brilliant will come second. I thought because we're usually on paper better than Cambridge and obviously Peterborough league below. But
Yeah,
no, same league, same league. They are our
yeah,
league.
it's a Midland League, aren't they?
Yeah, always do
Yeah,
actually quite well. But we
yeah,
thought me and my dad always say like when they announced the first and second playoff, we were like, oh, brilliant. I think if we finish second, that's ours to lose because I always
mm,
think we've got one of the strongest leagues in our tier. But saw Cambridge play Peterborough and they knocked them out of the park. They
mm,
were like so much leagues ahead of them against Cambridge. It was
mm.
like watching us play teams in the league above. You just think there's
Wow.
such a difference. But then speaking to people, they've said that wasn't their strongest team. That was like new signings people weren't about. Obviously, Lauren Webb, their keeper, hasn't played most of pre-season, and her coming
Okay.
in against Rugby Borough was so clear that she's their first choice and things. But
She's
I
really
think
good, really right. Yeah.
she's an incredible keeper, but I think that game, obviously they had all the fans, they had so many fans come down, but it's a local game in it, so
Mm,
it's hard to judge whether they do that every week. But no, I think we've got hard. Seeing some other people's leagues, I think we've got not a great league. I'm like, oh, this is going to be terrible, but I think it'd be fine. But the away games would be
Would
nice to go to.
one question? Would you prefer to be in the Midland Division? Because I'm
Oh,
sure it baffles me why you're not really.
yeah. I
Because
mean,
yeah.
oh, hang on, let me just. Oh, sorry. Someone's turned off the do not disturb on this, and I keep getting people's messages and stuff and calls. But we'll ignore that. I'll edit this part out and not ignore the fact my mum just called me like 3 times. But there. But no, I think I'd fancy myself in that league. Seeing
Mm,
obviously like we were drawing, beating Worthing, seeing where they've ended up in that league. I assume they've obviously changed the team since they were in our league,
mm,
but they finished third or fourth, I think. So they've done pretty well. Me and Dad think they'll do well this season. I even think we might end up playing against them in the playoff. So
mhm,
I fancy myself if we put ourselves in there. I don't think I think it'd be hard. I think all the leagues are quite hard, but I think
mm,
I'd feel we would have maybe got out of it a little bit quicker than we have.
mm,
The fact we're still stuck in this league, but they've got teams like Leafield and stuff who arguably we only beat them by a penalty last season, but that was in our winter terrible phase.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I don't know. When I look at the leagues, I always think like ours on paper are always the teams that do quite well in the cup. Always seems to be close. Like when you look at the other leagues, they've got a clear win. Like Bournemouth, that's like they were like that was it. But I look at our league and I never say they're winning the league this year. Like I'm looking at it going, there's 5 or 6 teams that I'd like there, and that's even before you like think of any teams that might have a surprising season. Like Chesham, I'm like I've counted them out, but what's to say they turn up and decide to like batter us all and do really well and have a great season. So
yeah, I mean their season last year hinged on signing a goalkeeper, as far as I'm concerned.
yeah,
I mean they brought that lady in from Tottenham, and they signed someone yesterday in goal, I think. So
yeah,
who knows?
no, they seem to just pull through when it was needed, whereas London C would seem to not really do much. So
yeah. I mean we put 9 past them when we played them at home in the autumn, and then lost 1-0 in the away game. It was mental.
Yeah. I don't know. We had some weird results against low table placed teams, but I don't know. I think that's what this league's like weird for. Like when we played Chesham, we drew. Seaward, we only beat them 1-0 away, and you think, how did we finish so well? But then you think, actually, no, this league is just that unpredictable. That we could beat you 10-0, and then lose to the likes of Chesham, and you think, actually, I'm really not that surprised. Because it's like that would be quite a shock. You'd be like, seriously, but it's just so unpredictable that you think anything's possible in this league, which I don't think is the case in like the Northern League, Southwest, all of them. I don't think they're so unpredictable. I think I probably couldn't because I'm not too knowledgeable on every single team in other leagues, but I think you could put a decent prediction together quite quickly of each game week, who's going to win, who's going to lose. Like I'm looking at our league, like for this week's matches, and I'm thinking, I ain't got a clue what any of the scores are going to be. I don't know what the score's going to be for us. I'm like, I'm a bloody Norwich fan. I'd like to say I'm pretty knowledgeable. I ain't got a clue what's going to happen. So I just don't know. I think it's so unpredictable. Like all these teams, like Cambridge have got Fulham. I think Fulham will win, but I don't know if they'll batter them. I don't know if they'll be a narrow win. And I don't know, you could turn around and they draw, and I think actually not surprised.
Yeah, Cambridge are a very unpredictable team. They can just pull out a result from nowhere. I think they gave Real Bedford quite a hard time last season. I think they drew with them, didn't they? So
they did. It was a good result for us, but if we beat Bedford, it could have been a different story. But
I mean, again, they beat us 5-1 on our own pitch. It was absolutely horror show. I think 2 years running they've done that to us now. But then we beat them when we played them away. So
they caught us. I think they caught us a bit off guard though with our what's it called, away game, because we ended up playing at the Bedford Blues ground and they moved it to like a 4 p.m. kickoff, and I think that makes such a difference. It was because they had a game before, like we were turning up and the players were coming out to the pitch, and the match before the people were still in like the pub and the clubhouse and all of that, like talking and stuff, like they'd just finished. So I assume that was probably why, because it was a bit late last minute. But I think those sorts of games getting moved and stuff makes a bit of a difference. Like I say, Carrow Road playing there makes a difference for us, but I think you never know. But
cool. Wow.
Is that all?
Yeah, I think that'll do.
Right. So this has been All in Yellow, and I've been your host, Izzy, and you've been...
And I've been James Doe from Actonians.
Okay. Well, thank you for having you, and we'll see you next week. God, if I can turn it off.